In this video, I will be providing you with a method that you can use to repair a set of stairs, a stairway that has a tall riser on the last step. But before we do that, we are going to need to figure out the total rise, or the rise that we're going to be able to use to calculate our new riser height. Now, the existing riser height is 7¼ inches going all the way up until the last one. And one of the ways you can calculate the riser height will be to use a straight edge or a long level. And to do that, you will level across from the lower level, make a mark on the foundation around here somewhere, or just simply measure up from the straight edge or the level that represents the lower level to the upper level. And in this case here, we have 3 foot 9½ inches. However, I wanted to provide you with another example. You can grab a straight edge or a long level and measure from somewhere over the stairway. And this example here might be the only one you can use if you have walls located on both sides of the outside of the stairway. For example, you might have 2 guardrail walls, one on this side and one on this side, and you won't be able to use the previous method. And if that's the case, you can use this method here and simply level over from the top, the upper level. And I would suggest using a 2x4. Use something that you can level across and mark, because we're going to be using this as a story pole. So again, we have 3 foot 9½ inches, except we now have it laid out on a board. And if that makes sense, then we can go ahead and calculate our individual riser height, which is going to be about 7 9/16 of an inch. And since we have 6 risers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And to calculate the rise, we're simply going to divide the amount of risers into the overall riser height, or 45½ inches, to get our new 7.58 riser. And make sure that you draw the lines all the way across for this, because we're going to use shorter lines that will represent the existing tread height. And to get this measurement, we can shove our board over up against the lowest step and then make another mark. And the difference between these two marks will be the amount of material that you're going to need to install in between the bottom of the existing treads. You're going to remove the treads and put a shim or a shaped board on top of the stringer, and you will see that here in a little bit. And to mark the next one, we're simply going to grab a level or a level and a straight edge, and then level over, make our mark, and again make a smaller mark here so that we know that this is the existing stairway and the top of our existing tread. So not too difficult. And again, this is going to be the measurement that we're going to use for our shim board. And we will simply work our way up the stairway by going from the second step to the third step with our level. And again, make a smaller mark. And we're going to do that on the next steps throughout the rest of the stairway until we have a mark for each tread. So again, the longer lines are going to represent the top of our new tread or step location. And by using the story pole here, we can simply measure between the marks to figure out the shaped pieces that we're going to need to install on top of the stringer or in between the stringer and the bottom of the tread. So here I have raised the treads to their new location. And all you're going to need to do will be to remove the treads and install a shaped block in between the bottom of the step and the top of the stringer. And that will look something like this. And you can use screws or nails to attach the shaped pieces. And you could even use adhesive if you need to. And keep in mind that each one of these boards will be a different thickness to make this type of repair. So hopefully that made sense. However, if it did not make sense, feel free to let us know in the comment box, along with any questions that you might have about this type of repair. And keep in mind that this is only a suggested repair method, and you might need to check with local building authorities, contractors, your building department, or other building professionals, because they might require you to remove and replace the stairway if they don't like this suggestion.